anything.
I don't see.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Explaining the Unexplainable, and I'm the co-host, Mercedes Lucke Benedict, and I've got my other co-host up there, Bishop Joshua Sparks. And
Hello,
boy,
everybody.
yeah, hello. We have a phenomenal show tonight. We have some return guests that are in the other squares over here. And I don't know if you guys are square or not. I think you're pretty cool. Okay, so we have got the return of Paranormal Unearthed. Dum, da, 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 dum. And
I can be back.
so it is so great. Last time you were here, guys, Bishop Joshua was not here with us, so I'm really excited that he is with us tonight. But he does have a cold, and he's not feeling all that great. Hi, Vinny. Vinny's here from New York.
Hey, Vinny. Vinny from New York. Welcome, brother.
What's up, Vinny? I actually see Vincent from time to time. I actually worked for a company called Terranova for many years. I wonder if there's any relation with that construction company.
I don't know. I know he did sound, a lot of sound, different things. He's pretty. Is that the company that did it have sound?
No,
Wouldn't that be
Terranova.
weird?
Terranova. They build buildings.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I have a
company.
feeling that might not be him. But glad he's here though to watch us here. So we are so excited to have you guys back. But Bishop Joshua does not really have much of a voice tonight. He's not feeling all that well. So I'm just thankful he's here with us.
Yes.
So I think we're just going to kind of go right into the fact that you guys have one of the best YouTube paranormal shows on right now.
Thank you.
It's cutting edge. It's like incredible. It is unique. It is like old school, cool, modern everything. And I just love it. The work you're doing is amazing. I love the new things that you're doing, the new places you're going to. So please tell us, I think we could just love to know from your own mouths what is going on with your show. So tell us about your show. Tell us about your investigation team and everything happening right now.
Go ahead, Robert. Go for it.
Okay. I'll go first. It's okay. Yeah. So as of right now, we have our first 3 episodes up, and boy, it's been a journey. It's mind blowing with just the first 3 episodes. Some of the paranormal activity that we have encountered, quite compelling, and we're trying to step up the bar. We're trying to expand ourselves. Last time on the show, Mercedes, we were saying, we need to go out into the woods or an open field and see if there's any activity there. We just recently did the Pine Barrens, the Jersey Pine Barrens, and we went out there, and the activity that we did have was not what we were expecting.
Not at all. Right.
It was in an old mill village from the 1700s, completely forgot, left behind, overgrown. And there was some activity at the one site. There was a big chimney, and all of the activity we had was around this chimney, the remnants of this chimney.
Correct.
And for the most part, without giving too much, it definitely didn't seem like a negative thing at all. Actually, it seemed like a person that was religious, loved Jesus. We had that coming through. So it was a different experience versus coming up against shadow beings, creatures, intense activity, things moving around. This was more like intelligent communication, and it was really cool. But we were in the Pine Barrens, and without giving away too much, we weren't out there alone, and everyone will have to watch to find
quite the episode.
Yeah. But it's
you're right. That was the first time so far that we've done an investigation like this, where having communication back and forth with the entities where they were calling out to Jesus.
Yeah.
I love you, Jesus. Jesus saved me. It was really strange, and we were going along with it. And it was pretty wild to see because we had set a bunch of candles up in the mouth of the fireplace in the shape of a crucifix. And we were asking, if you're stuck on this side and need help, kindly let us know. We'll get you the help that you need. Let us know what faith or denomination you are. We'll get you the help to cross over if we can. And they were coming through. Love Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Praise Jesus. And it's all coming through.
Angelic hierarchy, it said. Angelic hierarchy.
Yeah.
It was a lot of religious stuff.
A lot of religious stuff.
Not like we went there, the Jersey Devil. That was the whole point of going out there. But it seems like we came across someone within this village that had a strong spiritual sense. And but it's weird because we're in the middle of the Pine Barrens. Absolutely dark. We're not out there alone. A lot of things running around.
Wildlife, a lot of wildlife.
So just the creep factor of all that, and then to our surprise to have this kind of, I think I screamed. I was like, "Yeah, praise Jesus!" I rather hear that than like something scary come through when you're out in the middle of the woods. I'm like, all right.
We were about
so this is.
in. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask. So this was actually what you heard the spirits saying. They were actually praising Jesus. The spirits that were. Wow. Yeah. Cool.
Through the spirit talker and through the spirit box, which is basically, we keep it on an FM station and it scans through hundreds of AM station, forgive me, and it scans through hundreds of frequencies, and you'll hear the same voice over 7-10 different frequencies saying praise Jesus as it's going across multiple frequencies at that rapid pace. It was pretty wild. I never experienced anything like that before.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, forgive me, but I don't know. Was the Pine Barrens? It's like it's land, and there's obviously pines. What location? What area is that?
So the Pine Barrens is in the state of New Jersey, and it's 1.1 million acres of forest. And
it's basically half of the state, realistically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. From one part of the state to the opposite part of the state it goes. And
wow.
The lore of this story for the Pine Barrens was Mama Leeds, who gave birth to her 13th child that was born deformed, looked like a demon, had bat wings and hooves, and the legend goes she had cursed the child, the 13th child, and it was born into this demonic entity. And since the dawn of time, since the 1600s, since the Lenape Indians even had a mythology type story like this, and it went right through to the colonial times up until today. The story of the Jersey Devil haunts the Jersey Pine Barrens. So that's the prevalent story that goes on there, and all the investigators go out there for this one particular story. But you get lost out there. I mean, just to get in is about 6.5 mile walk. So it's quite the journey just to even get in
to the location that we went to, and it's massive. We went to a different sites. We went to a historical village, Batstow Village. We went to Atson, another village. Wharton State Forest is a state forest there. And then our investigation, we went more down to the south to this place not far from me where I live here in South Jersey. And the locals, we know of this old mill town that is off the path. In the same area, there's some other stuff, but most people don't know about the old village because it's completely overgrown. It's off the beaten path. When people do go out there, like Anthony said, you have to hike quite a bit. It was a good, I think, 45-minute walk with us, with our gear to get to where we were going. Yeah.
But just an absolutely breathtaking location. You'll see when the video comes out in about a week or so. Just to even be on the grounds is just breathtaking. Absolutely.
It was fun.
And
the vines, the way the vines, some of the vines like rope, how they were twisted, and just the moss growing over the sand, and just like Anthony said, it was just magical. It was surreal. It was like you were in a Hollywood movie.
Pretty much, right? Yeah,
we know how Hollywood movies happen, and we're like, oh no, we're those people. we are those guys that are going out there, and going out into the forest late at night, no matter what forest it is, always comes with a set of challenges. So, but
you guys survived, so nobody's going to find your camera that was left behind, and you mysteriously disappeared. So
it's something like the Blair Witch project we were shooting for. But like we were really setting out to this location to prove that these entities are around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to go into a so-called haunted house to meet a spirit or come in contact with a spirit. We wanted to show that it could be morning, afternoon, evening, night, in your home, in a stranger's home, in a haunted home, in the woods. You can come in contact with these entities everywhere. They're everywhere at all times. And that
shocked us.
Yeah, that did.
That was like our test. And it was really all the activity. It was all around that chimney. It was wild, but we were chased out of there. But like I said, we weren't alone. And we're very happy that we got out of there when we did, because we weren't alone.
I don't think we're ever alone, Will
Yeah.
I mean, the past couple investigations that we've been on, it's been a wild couple of months checking all these locations out. The last location we were on, we were actually going into a town not far from Robert, and another historic town. Legends of Blackbeard the pirate were in this town, and you name it, Lenny Leonardo.
Tea burning. We had our tea burning, Greenwich.
Right. So a lot of history in the town. And we went on a ghost walk through this particular town to get familiarized with, all the legends and lore that happened in this town. And while we're on that walk, activities start to go off. Our equipment start going off. And then as we're going home, one of the neighbors had asked, a good friend of ours, she's having real problems in her home. Would you guys be kind enough to come tonight and check it out? So we're like, what, we're here. Let's go see if we can help.
We had some of our equipment, not all of it, but we had enough. So.
And oh my God. And that was that last one I just saw. Man. That was phenomenal. So you're telling me that you guys were just on a ghost walk, and then she asked for some help and you just went to help her.
Not even her. The townspeople. They told us, we have a neighbor, because this town's very tight-knit community. Right. Nobody's like welcome into the town secrets, let's call it, right? Nobody really knows what goes on there. There's never been any paranormal investigations done there by any teams. Nobody gets welcome in, to this town per se. But they were like, you guys are great.
I got us in there.
Robert, you guys know what you were doing. You were so helpful on the tour. Would you be kind enough to go tonight and speak with her and maybe you guys can help. So, you know what? We're here. It was about 11 o'clock at night. We said, sure, you know what? Let's go. Let's go see if we can help. And she was a school teacher. She likes to remain anonymous, so we'll respect that. But when we got to the home, beautiful home, totally reconstructed from the 1700s. She total demo job, gut job. She restored this home beautifully. But when she did that, she woke something up in the house. She disturbed something. And the first night Robert and I had went there, she told us, I hear children running back and forth in the attic, a lot of activity in the attic. So Robert and I went straight up to the attic just to see. And the house is, pitched attic. So it goes from maybe the dead center point goes to maybe like 5 foot 10 inches, we'll call it, because I'm 5'9", and my head almost hits the ceiling. So, and Rob's 7'2", so you can only imagine him folded in half in there because he's so tall. But we set up the gear in the attic, and what was it, about 10 minutes in? There's a cardboard box in front of my face, and we hear scratching sound, right? Like a mouse would scratch on a wall or something, clawing. So I say, Robert, do you see this box lid flapping right before me? Are you hearing this, or am I going nuts? He's like, no, dude, I hear it. And the homeowner's on the stairs.
Yeah.
He's like, not only do I hear it, but this happens all the time. It might be a mouse. So we wait a little while, we record the activity.
And during all of that, while that scratching was happening, we had multiple electromagnetic detectors, static electricity, REM pods. We had a bell. Everything was going nuts. As the box was being scratched, the K2 meter was going to red. The EMF, each scratch, it was going red line. Crazy.
So for this, for this equipment to redline like that, you're talking extremely high electromagnetic frequency.
Hold it up to a microwave.
Pretty much.
Turn it up to a outlet, a power strip, something
you're
like
gonna
that.
Get that kind of energy.
Yeah.
And not only that, we're watching with our eyes the lid to this box doing this as it's being scratched, and there's nothing there. And we're asking questions, and it's scratching harder and harder. And I'm like, are you seeing this? Never in all my career have I ever witnessed power like that.
And that was with the lights on. With the lights on. Broad lights, and logically, my brain, we were all
can't
thinking,
even comprehend it.
I was like, there has to be a mouse. I was afraid to pick the box up and open it because I thought a cockroach, I thought some sort of big bug, a mouse, a rat was going. When I opened up that box and he recorded the whole thing, and it was empty, and I flipped the box upside down and all that, and the noise completely stopped. And when I realized there was nothing in that box, like Anthony and I, we were looking at each other like, did that just happen? Is this for real?
They had the clip to that if they want to share it, because I hear you scratching the box right now.
No way.
No.
Something's over there.
Do you not hear this box being scratched right now?
I've heard that noise before. I always think there's a mouse up here.
There's no mouse here. The K2's going off.
Something just moved over there.
Yeah, it set off the bell. What? Something has to be inside. What the heck?
If that red tub has bad luck and I need to get...
Dude, if there's a rat or something. No.
There's nothing in here.
There's nothing in here. There's absolutely nothing in there. What was that clawing on there?
You heard that clear as day, right? I know I got that on film.
There's nothing in there. There's no rat.
It's gone. The sound's gone.
Oh my.
That happened right before our eyes, dude.
Goodness gracious.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Were you able to hear the scratching?
I could, yeah.
And every time it scratches, the EMF red lines. So that's actual physical contact, something actually trying to make physical communication with us to get our attention. That's very rare. Very rare.
And with this episode that we titled It Lives in the Attic, before, we even went up there, we were talking with the homeowner, and she was talking about the experiences and like the children's footsteps. She had friends and people over all down in the living room. More than one person heard the stomping around. But she said she kind of has like a mutual understanding with whatever it is that's there. Like, hey, that's your space. The house is mine. When I'm not here, go at it. When I come home, respect it. They seem to have something working like that. But she doesn't go up into this attic. Keep in mind, like we said, it was 11 o'clock at night. She just hit our friend up and said, come over. It was a total surprise. She doesn't go up there. And then you have these two guys, people they're not familiar with here in South Jersey, out in the country, and you bring a guy from Staten Island, New York, you bring him into the mix, and surprise, I'm here. I think whatever was up there, I think that amount of activity was really coming just from, the sheer surprise of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried
obviously wanted to make contact with you guys. Did you I mean, you had all that going on, but was there any kind of events that happened after that? Any more contact, or was it just that experience and then it was over? How long did you all stay there?
We stood there that night, I'd say for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that wasn't the investigation. That was
wasn't the
just
investigation.
like we're like,
oh, that's you all just going over and kind of like meeting the homeowner and
yeah,
kind of doing a tour.
We were pulled off the street from the ghost walk.
Yeah,
And asked, could you please go, help our neighbor? She's having so much trouble. She don't know who to ask, who to call. She don't know any paranormal investigators. They're like, it's a miracle you guys are even here with equipment. Can you please do us the favor? And we were like, yeah, we'd be happy to help out. And we went right from the ghost walk right to our house, and that was the first night. It was when we went back that just amazing. It was amazing what happened.
Well, it was kind of weird when we went back because honestly, we had all that activity, and then after the whole box scratching thing, all of our equipment going off, we went back downstairs. Anthony and I, we were blown. It was getting late. We actually had other investigations and things like that going on. So that was that. But when we returned, initially when we got there, it was crickets. Nothing was happening. But when it started to happen, it happened.
Yeah, it went full force.
We didn't have the element of surprise the second time, and it was very quiet. But what we did capture, and when it happened, and clearly.
We tried to explain to her also, you can't make you can't have a contract with an entity like, this will be your space, this will be my space. They can appear friendly, they can come off friendly, they can act like a child. You don't know what you're communicating with. You don't know what you're sharing your energy with. And that is not the right thing to do. My opinion, my suggestion to her would be I would get the house blessed right away and have that entity cross over and try to expunge it from your home, because you don't know what you're communicating with. And she's under the impression that it's children and an older woman that lives up in the attic, and they're deceased. They're not going to bother me. They never bother me. And I was trying to explain to her that you don't know that it's children. They can sound like children. They can even appear like children. It could be a demonic entity. You don't know. We don't know. All that Robert and I can do is investigate and let you know if we see something or we capture something, and we can give you that information. Aside from that, that's out of our range of work. We have to pass it along to the next people that, do the religious aspect of the things. But when we went there the second time around and we set up our equipment, we got through a full investigation. And don't get me wrong, as we were speaking to her throughout the house and filming, things were happening. For example, we're talking and we just finished and we're going from one room to the other, and we're breaking down the cameras to go to another location. And the static camera picks up this orb of light just passing. And as it passes the ceiling lights, it makes the lights turn on and turn off. Matter of fact, you have that clip. That's the 9-second long one.
Oh, wow.
Watch when it gets to the hi-hat.
All three. Whoa, it stopped quick.
Yeah, it's the short clip.
Okay.
I couldn't. The other one was too long.
And that same orb upstairs in the bedroom, Anthony, that was my static cam there. On Anthony's static cam up in her bedroom on the second floor, he caught the same size massive orb going down the steps. It curves, and we believe
it's the same.
It goes through the ceiling, comes down, and activates the lights.
So it started from her bedroom, floats down the staircase into the living room where that static cam is, passes the lights. So in other words, when you see it up in the ceiling, it's coming from the staircase down over to the lights.
Right through the wall, down through the ceiling.
Turns the lights on. So she constantly has communication like that.
And that was one of her claims.
Right.
That was one of her claims. She says she was sitting on the thing and she has lights that are switches. They're not dimmers. They're nothing like that. And that was one of her claims. She told us that the lights, she said, I've had all brand new electrical work in here. There's no problems. I've had electricians out. those sorts of phenomena happening in there, and we documented it.
Water, the faucets turning on by themselves, dishes being thrown in the kitchen, lights turning on and off. And Robert and I went through the whole house. I'm a former police officer, but I also did construction my whole life with the union. I went through, I checked all the electrical breaker boxes and everything. I made sure all the light switches were good. Nothing was loose that could cause that. And if we didn't catch that orb passing the light and turning it on like that, I would have still thought in my head, just the debunker in me, faulty wiring could do that. And I wouldn't have been pleased otherwise, but we caught it actually interacting with the lights. But that's not even the best. Robert and I decide after hours of investigating this place, it seems like this energy likes to interact when we're alone. So Robert said, I'm going to go downstairs and have a cigarette. You stay up here and let's see if we can get this, to interact.
Let me put my camera right up here just in case, because it was like we said, it was quiet. And go ahead.
We try to do like a stealth investigation. So Robert set up a miniature GoPro, very tiny, about half the size of a cigarette pack. He puts it on top of a windowsill, and I'm sitting on the staircase, and I'm trying to get communication with this thing. Are you a man? And we had a spirit bell. So when you get a high flux of electromagnetic energy, the bell can ring, and you could do yes or no responses with this device. And I'm asking, if you're a man, ring the bell once for yes, twice for no. If you're a woman, same thing. So we find out that it was an older woman, and I'm at the point now where I'm asking this entity, how long have you been on this property? Has it been from the 1600s, 1700s? And then all of a sudden, I'm wearing a sweater with the hood, a paranormal hood. The hood to my sweater gets lifted up by an unseen force. Now that really spooked me, because I'm up in this attic, 3 floors up. Everybody's downstairs. I felt the hand on this thing like crawl behind my back and flip the hood. So it really spooked me. So you see me walk backwards down the stairs, and I'm literally telling this thing, all right, I'm going to give you your space. And I'm walking down shook that I couldn't even believe this happened. It's pitch black. You can't see your hand in front of your face. The moment I get out of the attic and get down to the doorway into her bedroom, the spirit talker says, no, don't go. And then a full-bodied apparition walks out of the wall and walks all around the attic to everywhere I was, into this. Well, it's checking out all our equipment. Then you see it walk right back to where it came from. And we got that all on camera. You guys actually have that.
And Anthony was scared. You'll hear his voice broke.
Oh. Hey, Rob! Rob! Where you at?
Cord.
Something just grabbed my sweater and then the thing said cord. I'm gonna go down and give you your space. I'm gonna go down for a minute. Cause you just freaked me out. Okay, I'm gonna go down.
No, go away.
Wow.
Wow.
Like,
And important fact too, we had huge pieces of thick styrofoam blocking out the window that was directly behind. The camera I was showing was on the window sill. We had the windows blocked out.
3-inch
saw
thick styrofoam stuffed inside the window frame.
there
no
was
outside
nothing
light,
behind
no
that
light could
camera
come through.
except the wall, and
Right.
it's seeing the entire attic from that vantage point. And the
Right.
only way in or up is the way Anthony went down. And it's the sounds of the foot. It's so hard, like footsteps, scuffling, creaking. I don't.
Doesn't make sense to us because on the floor, and you can see it, there's boxes and doors
Everywhere.
and construction equipment everywhere that thing walked. So whatever it walked over shouldn't be making the sound of wood creaking. That doesn't make sense. It's not registered. So it's so hard to explain the paranormal. Could that entity be in a different dimension, and it's walking on wood where it is, or could it be a repeating occurrence, like a residual haunt, and it just happens the same time over and over at that hour? It could be. We'll have to get back in there to try to find that out. But
Well, it kind of goes, now that we're talking about it, Anthony, it kind of goes with the phenomena we had with the scratching on the box. You know,
Yeah.
like it's weird. It was almost like it's able to interact with whether it's a box,
environment,
the creak of a floor, the siding, you know, all of that. It's weird.
And Robert and I must have watched that video 1,000 times now. If we didn't watch it 1,000 times, we didn't watch it any.
No.
And the more I stare at it, if you really pay attention to it, it reminds me of a woman in a dress from like the 1700s era, where they had the frame underneath their gown and it was all puffed out. And they had that I don't know what the exact terminology for it was in the 70s. A corset, maybe? No, not a corset. You know, the old dresses from the 1700s, they wore a frame under the gown to keep it very, like a bell shape.
How old was that house? I mean,
from the 1700s.
1700s. Wow.
From the 1700s.
So I've got to say, like, I've seen this show. So Bishop Joshua, I've seen it, and all of their investigations that I've seen so far. Number one, I love the fact that they really go and are talking about the history, and it's very valuable to them in all of these, that they are very interested in what happened there. What's the history of each location? And I know this place was a surprise place, but I believe that you were saying that whole town was pretty haunted. You know, a lot of hauntings there in that town. But the fact that you could hear the creaking of the wood, that's why I believe, from what I've experienced with my work, is like they are in their place. They are where they are. And so but it is so bizarre that there's all those boxes and all those things. Like, how could they really walk through there unless they just step right through the box, of course, and hit the floor? But the whole thing's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing what you guys capture. It really is.
It really leaves you with more questions than answers, though, Mercedes. Like,
well,
if a spirit can walk through the wall, right? Why doesn't it fall through the floor when it's traveling?
Yeah.
How is it able to do it? There's just so many questions. And if you notice, it's casting shadow where it's walking. So it's a transparent, full-bodied apparition, shadow figure, whatever you want to call it. But as it's moving, the aura of it, you could see it casting its own shadow onto its surrounding area, which means that it has mass to it for it to project its own shadow.
And an important side note, that camera is a full spectrum camera.
Right.
You know,
sees an ultraviolet light.
Yeah.
Which the human eye cannot see. So it's picking it up in a light spectrum that the human eye would never see, nor would any regular camera ever see. Just the fact that we had that there is the only reason why we captured it, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, your equipment is like amazing. So, but this one, I think all of your investigations I've heard, you have direct communication. They are verbally talking to you and kind of having a conversation in many ways. Is this the same location that was this the one where you were in the attic too and the ball was thrown, or was that a different? There was something about a ball.
That's the same house.
Okay.
The same house, but she had an encounter where she was sitting on her couch.
No, she's
ball got
talking
loose.
about the Wildwood Sanitarium when the ball
Oh.
balloon went down the steps.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Oh
the
my God.
Excuse me,
So
I'm sorry.
that was the last one when
The
you guys
Wildwood
were here.
Sanitarium.
Oh my God.
That was another. See, the Wildwood Sanitarium is another home from what year was that? 18.
It was built in 1900. It became
1900.
operational as a holistic healing wellness center in 1909.
Yes, the
And
19.
in the 1920s, it was converted by the state of New York to serve up to 10 tuberculosis patients at a time
Correct.
at the height of the pandemic.
So that place
That's,
had a lot of death in
that's
it,
when it got bad. Yeah.
and they had a family had lived there, and allegedly a boy named Tommy had drowned in a lake behind that home when he was about 7. And at the time, we were on the assumption that we were making contact with this child because the EVP that we captured was of a little boy asking for his Mickey Mouse toy. And the craziest thing about that, and we didn't notice till after the fact, is that that Mickey Mouse toy is 5 feet in front of me in an old crib with a bunch of other toys. And it's literally asking me for a toy, this Mickey Mouse toy, that's in the crib in front of me, but I couldn't see it because it was pitch black dark in the room. And then when I leave that room and didn't give that entity that Mickey Mouse toy is when it threw the ball down the stairs. Like, you didn't give me what I wanted. I'm mad, like a little temper tantrum from a child, basically. And
it tripped our motion sensor. Our motion sensor we had right at the steps. Right. We didn't know because we were slowly approaching it on the other side, and the motion sensor went off. And that's the moment the balloon came all the way out of the room, in the hallway, down the steps. But it wasn't like a helium balloon. It's one of those like heavy, thick rubber, like ball balloons that
like
sit
when you
on the
get from the
ground.
dollar store or
Yeah.
Walmart, they got the big pen with all the rubber balls in there.
Yeah.
It's like one of those type, But still, you're talking about a spirit, an entity moving a physical object on our side. That's poltergeist activity. And you can believe, for me, you could believe that's a child trying to interact with you, but for me, I don't think a child would do that. Me personally, as a Catholic, I don't think a child would linger on this side after death. I think it would ascend right to heaven because innocence. That's just my thought. I don't know. Maybe Bishop Joshua Sparks will know more on that. I would go with more demonic entity with something like that, or something that did not lead a good life, was over here and maybe acting out as a child to try to get our attention and present itself as a child. That's more my feeling. I don't know how you felt about that, Rob, but that's just my guess.
Well, I do agree with you, Anthony. I don't believe that. I believe that would be cruel of God to allow a child to wander the earth.
Yeah,
an innocent child. And a lot of these entities, while they mimic people who've lived, different time periods, in my in my opinion, in my experience, it's a lot of times demonic. Trying to, the Bible calls them familiar spirits, trying to lure people into a belief that's not biblical in nature. And I believe that a lot of these spirits, though they seem benevolent, are in fact malevolent, because anything that keeps you up at night, anything that terrorizes you, even and Anthony, I would have probably done a belly flop down them stairs, especially at men behind you. Usually I don't get scared of nothing, but you're sitting up there in the dark, something grabs a hold of you. Of course, I've had them grab a hold of me too. And did you all hear that growl? Like on the camp? Yeah.
So now, I'm not saying 100% it was, but she did have a dog in the house, a little, what kind of dog was it, Robert, that she had? The lady?
At what point?
Oh no! And it was behind. It was like it was right beside the camera. It was before it. I think it was before it said, "Don't go." There's like
I didn't hear that.
I didn't catch it.
Wow! Yeah, there's a
when Anthony starts yelling and going downstairs, the dog
barks.
Well, this is too close. This is too
that
close.
was before.
It's like right by the cameras.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear that.
I have to. The audio on that camera, unfortunately, is the worst audio. Is that particular camera is
Yeah.
just devised to see an ultraviolet light. Having any audio on it whatsoever is a
We
plus.
can't even get a
Well,
mic on it. It doesn't
Yeah.
This
have
was
an
very
input.
this was very clear. Maybe Stan ought to play it again. It was very clear.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good idea. I'll have to go through that with headphones this time. It's so hard to hear the static. When we try to raise the volume on that, the static just drowns everything out. But being now that you heard something, I'm going to triple check and just to be sure, because that's rather interesting. I do know at one point the dog did bark, though. I thought that's what you were speaking on. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
this is
Clips did you have? What other clips does Stan have?
I think there's one more clip with some spirit orbs that had interacted in the home while Rob was speaking. I think he has a fourth clip.
The one orb especially that actually activates the K2, the EMF.
Right.
As the big one comes down, it triggers. Pretty
So
cool.
Rob and I are working on something right now. All the investigations that we have been on so far. Now, a lot of orbs are dust and just particles in the air. However, the ones that interact with our devices, we find compelling, because dust will not interact and turn all your device. It just won't happen. And there's this one particular orb we've been catching everywhere we go. We don't know if it's a spirit attachment or a hitchhiker or what it could be, but it almost looks like a set of wings. It looks like this.
The fairy.
We call it
That's
the
what
fairy.
it looks like. I mean,
And all three locations that we've been on, we've caught the same exact looking orb. One time it flew through Robert, one time it flew through me, another time you just catch it flying down. But it's at every one of our investigation, and every single time it makes our devices go off. And that's the clip that you have here. You'll see this thing. I think on this clip it floats downward and the camera catches it. But you
yeah,
almost see it looks
slowly.
like a set of wings, almost like fairy wings or a butterfly. It's the oddest looking thing, that the minute it comes through, you'll know it. You'll see
And I
it.
remember when that happened on the last time you were here, because it went through you. So let's
Correct.
see if Stan, could you run that one clip for us, please? Hopefully you can.
Hopefully he was able to download it.
Well, hopefully you'll hear it, but let's just keep moving forward just in case.
Yeah, if he can, I might be able to drop it down on the bottom for us. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
share
the
it.
fairy orb things, maybe they're just miniature angels.
Who knows? Who knows?
could be.
Well, when you were
jokes.
at the new location, the one that you had, you were just at in the forest, did you
Mm.
run across that same encounter there, do you think?
I'm
still
still
going through the-
reviewing. Yeah. I have about 8 minutes done, just the intro. We had so much footage. We went to so many other places. We have drone footage of everything. It's a big one. And I have been looking through, but the problem is we're outside and there's a lot of actual bugs and stuff. So it's not like a confined room. So
Right. Anytime
tough.
we're outside in the field, we pretty much.
I see he's asking what video. I didn't hear you, so maybe we could just go ahead and.
It's all right. I actually dropped it on the bottom. It says
Okay.
Faye MLB. All you have to do is click it, and it'll pop right up for you.
Okay.
It's on the
I
bottom of
see.
the screen.
Okay. Well, we can go ahead and have him play it though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Stan, that would be the one. Is there a number on that one, Anthony?
It just says fay.mlv, and it's on the bottom of the screen where we are right now.
Okay.
With us.
There- hopefully.
Whoever can click on it right there, it'll play for you.
Okay.
I don't know who's in charge of the StreamYard, but usually the person that's in charge can click it.
Yeah, and I am not very good at this part of it, so we'll just hopefully he'll hear us. But I definitely want to.
And I'll try to send it to him again.
Yeah, and I want to find out. I wanted to share that, Bishop Joshua. I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of these yet, but their ability to the video content, the way they mix this show is really unique. There's the music involved, and like the one I remember this with the lights when the orb goes and touches and the lights come on, to show that it went through. There's this music playing. I think it was like one of the sections you have, and it's like you put a section of what you caught and you put it to music. I
Yeah.
think I've noticed that, and I'm like, wow, it's brilliantly created, and their effects too. Not the effects of what's happening, but how they're
Edited,
creating the
the
shows.
editing. We try to make it I mean, we're pretty low budget these days using YouTube and everything, you know what I mean? But we try to edit it as best we can to give it that TV show feel, to try to make it as interesting as possible, because sometimes, 10 minutes will go by, we were just talking and having that back and forth with the person who's home we're investigating.
Be up here. We'll go back down for now. But you gotta set off that bell.
Yeah.
So you see how
Wow.
it has that weird shape to it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That
more things.
exact orb, I don't even know what to call it. We've been calling it a fairy kidding around amongst ourselves, amongst the investigators, because it looks like a set of fairy wings from like a kids movie. But
Always partially translucent, always slightly morphing, and not perfectly round. Not like
right,
that big orb that set off the lights, every time he's caught it, it's always been on your camera too. I haven't
and
caught that on mine.
it's always setting the devices off just as it
Yeah.
gets along with them. You see, he circled his EMF detector, and the red light goes off. It's interacting with the
And
equipment. So
my
there's
EMF detector does not go off.
no.
It like unlike a K2, the green to red lights, they're a lot more sensitive. For mine to even have the slightest a blip, it takes a lot to set that one
So
on.
my device is calibrated to go from the lowest electromagnetic frequency to the highest electromagnetic frequency in color code from green to red. Robert's is just set on red, so nothing will
Yeah.
turn it on unless it's at its
A
highest
high, medium to
highest
red.
magnitude
Yeah.
of energy has to pass it. So for that to let his go off, so far all the investigations we've been on, Robert, and it's been quite a few. The public's only seen 3, but we've been on more than a handful together. Only seen your device go off twice now.
Yeah. And it was
you're
both in Greenwich, the
right,
town.
right.
It never went off at Seaview.
Any other
It
place?
never went off at the sanitarium. It went off twice in the town of Greenwich, which I was blown away.
Now you
But
got to
it was
understand
active.
this town. I'd say if the neighborhood's 2 miles long, in that 2 mile long stretch on the ghost walk we went through, there was maybe 9 pieces of property that are documented through history that are having intense paranormal activity, from the historic jail that's there to the what else is there, like the mansion that's over there. What else is over there, Robert?
The Gibbon house, old
House.
Quakers houses. It was a prominent place. It has a rich history. All throughout history, the town of Greenwich has been a safe haven from religious persecution. The Quakers were set up there. It's been a safe haven for different people of different beliefs. Unfortunately, when you make a safe haven because of all the creeks where it is in South Jersey, it was really easy to get boats and to hide. So unfortunately, even though it was a safe haven for a lot of people, the underbelly, Blackbeard, many other pirates would be there during Prohibition, rum running in that area. During the Underground Railroad used those ways to bring slaves up because it was secluded. So there's always been a history of using this area as a place for those that don't want to be found. On the
Correct.
good spectrum, and on the negative spectrum as well. It's been a place to hide. It's cut off from major highways. There's no cell phone service here, not far from a nuclear plant, and nothing but the Delaware Bay. Very, very remote, cut off from the world, but has a great history, including the tea burning, which was one of the major tea burnings. Unfortunately, got a lot of people don't know that.
But just like the Boston Tea Party, this section of New Jersey also had a very famous tea burning as well. That will be bringing it to light, and that's the whole town. There's monuments in the town to this, about this tea burning, because it was very prominent throughout history, but somehow got lost through time, through history, and it just got suppressed. Nobody really hears about it. But if you look up Greenwich, New Jersey tea burning, I mean, it's amazing what went on there, the history that goes on. But primarily locations like this that are rich in history are rich in paranormal activity.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I've never even heard of that place. So you guys seem to be finding places that are super unique.
Well,
that have tons of history, but nobody knows about it.
This is my backyard. It's where I live. And I grew up here. It's literally right down the street. I grew up with weird things all around me, but because of where we live, we're cut off from the world. But I want the world to see what's in my neck of the woods, to show them that you don't need to go to these big top dollar paranormal hotspots that everyone goes to, even though we love to go to those places because they are a lot of fun to investigate. But there's a lot of history we're trying to show people. You can find history in your own backyard.
Right. And that's what makes it so exciting, because so many people want to get out and get involved and do something fun, even on the weekend, right? You just want to get out and do something a little adventurous. Go enjoy your own backyard. Even where I live in Staten Island, there's so much history here. You have Fort Wadsworth that's haunted. And even if you don't want to do haunted locations and you want to go out and just go sky watching with your wife or your significant other, there's so many beautiful locations to do that too. And I think Robert and I are going to be able to show the world that you can do this in your own backyard. You don't have, like you were saying, you don't have to spend $1,000 to go film at some high-end location just because you've seen it on the History Channel 100 times. You can go right in your own backyard and do the same thing. The paranormal is everywhere. It's around us all the time.
Yeah,
How come you named the show Paranormal Unearthed? I love that. I love that name.
Well, we're dealing with the paranormal, and at the same time, we're unearthing the history from all the locations that we go to. So, Paranormal Unearthed. Rob likes to unearth the history, and I like to unearth the paranormal.
I like that. I really like that. Joshua,
it's a great name.
Yeah, did you have any more questions for them, Joshua?
This has been a really wonderful show.
Thank you.
You know, and it sounds like, you know, you're talking about going in your own backyard. Well, it sounds to me like Anthony and Robert just walk down the street and the ghosts just throw themselves at them. Right? People are like, hey, come in here.
That's the strangest thing, you know. And my grandmother used to tell me when I was a kid, if you go out searching for it, it will find you. And it seems to be true. You know, if you go out looking for these things, you're going to find them because they are there. They are there.
They are. Yeah,
and I believe certain individuals can be catalysts, and our ancestors, our loved ones. We all have big armies of what you may call angels or ancestors, loved ones. You know, generationally, all throughout our soul's history. You know, we got a big team, and I think sometimes bringing all of our teams together in an area where there's a lot going on can stir up a lot. And I believe certain people that give off a certain energy, one thing for sure, a lot of the activity we've documented, whatever these things are, need energy to make those footsteps. They need energy to manifest. They need energy to scratch that box. They need energy to circuit that light to make it turn on. So they need energy from something. And maybe, Joshua, this is more your spectrum, but both ends of that, you have negative things that need that energy, and they feed off of people, draining them so they can have that energy. And then I'm sure that there may be more not hostile energies that get that energy from maybe the land or maybe running water, maybe something in earth that naturally gives off energy. Maybe they pull it from there depending on their intentions. So when it comes to this catalyst and stuff, Anthony and I were always asking ourselves, like, what part are we playing in this? Our first 3 investigations, the first 2, I was touched. And the first 2, we caught shadow people. The third one, Anthony was touched, and then followed by a shadow person. So it's like, come on, 3 out of 3. That doesn't happen with paranormal investigations. Anthony and I, we've done tons of paranormal investigations, and we've never caught anything like it.
Right.
And then to catch 3 in a time, like 3 in a row.
Well, maybe it has to do with you guys, what you each bring to the table, your different specialties, your different gifts. Maybe that's why this has happened. Maybe, that connection is kind of like an attraction to that energy.
A lightning rod.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
After I saw after I was touched, I've been to mass 4 times already. It really freaked me out feeling the hand of an. Now, like Rob said, he had it happen to him twice, but I hadn't. And then when I was touched by something that was unseen, I felt it like a human hand on my back, and then my hood, and then you see it on camera. My hand standing up on my legs right now, just talking about it. I mean, it's really freaky.
And so weird.
It's so weird.
Hood too, though, Robert.
Well, I know.
Well, I was just gonna say all 3. Well, the best thing with Anthony's, and the first one we documented, but Anthony's, his hood was pulled up. In the sanitarium, we did not get it on camera, but I was wearing a collared black shirt. My collar was lift up, so no hood. But immediately after that, a shadow person Anthony caught on static cam facing, running right through into the wall. The first time, once again, it was my backpack. It lifted up the handle on my backpack at Seaview Hospital.
You're talking a 70-pound backpack full of.
Why are we always getting touched from behind? That's not fun. It's one thing to be touched like right in front of you,
right?
But what I'm just kind of putting it together now. It's strange that it's been 3 times and it's always from behind. Why not we put our hands out, touch our hands, Baba?
That's why I'm telling you, Robert. Me personally, and I've been saying from the beginning, I don't think it's something.
Seems sinister. Touch someone from behind, like be a man, tickle my nose, pull my beard, pull my beard.
I think we should find out, what do you do when? Well, go ahead, Joshua. But I was going to say, what do we tell us before we close the show? How you are doing your protections after? But go ahead, Joshua.
I was just going to say, every time I'm touched, it's from behind, and I know it's most of the time it's angels. Yes, I get touched all the time. Now the demons, I've seen demons many times, and they always come at me face to face.
Really?
So anything that touches me from behind, I usually know that it's benevolent. It's usually my angel or a series of angels. So, that's our rear guard. That's they come up behind us and protect us. So, and I'm not saying that it's always that. If it makes you, and of course, as a human being, something touches you that's not there, it's going to make you feel a certain way. It's going to cause your spider senses to go off, and you're going to be like, oh wow. Because the other day we were standing in the kitchen, and I was talking to my dad and my son. And it felt like my son come up and put his hand on me like that. And I turned around, he's standing halfway across the room. So I just said, oh, it was just my angel.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, think about what Joshua just said real quick, because he brings up a point. Every time we've had these, I don't know, the backpack one was pretty sinister.
That blows my mind how it can lift that kind of weight.
And that was violent, trying to pull me down steps.
Tried to hurt you.
Hit my head on a pipe behind.
Yeah, now that is sinister. When they do try to hurt you. Yeah. Now sometimes I've noticed this in my 30 years of experience in dealing with paranormal, dealing with demons and ghosts, and Sometimes, like when something touches or grabs at us like that, and I'm not saying this is what happened with you, but we try to quickly get away and end up hurting ourselves. Sometimes that happens too. But it's anything that tries to grab you and pull you down, Robert, that hurts you is sinister, and you need to immediately, plead the blood of Christ and immediately ask God to protect you and send His angels. And if you really feel threatened, pray for Michael, the archangel, to come. I guarantee you, he will clear the room.
Let me ask you one question. I wear my rosary beads on every event. Rob will tell you, I always wear my rosary beads on
Oh, yeah.
every single investigation. Would a demonic entity try to touch you with your rosary beads on? Would it still try?
Well, it makes sense if they try to touch you from the back because they can't do it from the front.
From the front, yeah.
And
Okay.
Anthony, I keep forgetting, but on my keychain, when my grandma died, she gave me my grandfather's Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans out there.
Thank you, Joshua.
My grandfather's Vietnam St. Michael coin
Pendant?
he had pendant, which is on my keys all the time. So even if I'm not aware of it, I always have my keys on me.
I keep my grandfather's Christ head in my pocket all the time with us.
Awesome.
Always.
So you're very well protected. So
I think so. I would like to believe
but I know the Seaview one seemed negative, but the other two times, like Joshua said, Anthony, you were touched from behind, you get out, you leave because of that, and then there's a shadow figure. At sanitarium, I was touched from behind,
and then the shadow figure.
Shadow. Maybe we are being protected from whatever that other thing is. Maybe he got,
it's kind of like saying, "Hey guys, move out of the way."
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this would be great to ask
Yeah.
those questions since you guys are able. I wish we could share some of that too, or just everybody listen to the show because they are communicating, and there's a lot of. It's just fascinating what you're catching. So you
My
can even
question
ask those
is,
questions.
when can we have him back?
Yeah, well,
Anytime.
I wanted them here on 11/11 specifically. Happy Veterans Day. It's just
Yes,
always
thank you
been a
everyone
blessed
for your
day.
service.
This is like a God day for me, and God's always coming through. So thank you for being here on 11/11.
It's always a pleasure being here with you, Mercedes. You're a wonderful person, and she's like a beacon of light. Mercedes. She's always smiling and so joyous, and I love having her around. She really makes us always feel welcome, and I love her spiritual vibes. So thank you for that.
You guys are always welcome on this show. We gotta have you back. We gotta schedule them as quickly as we can because
Anytime.
these guys are amazing.
And I hope you heal up and get well soon.
Oh, thank God. We're going to come out of this the winner. We always did. It's part of the, and not just where I work and coals being passed back and forth, but this year I've been a target of the enemy. I've had a lot of physical problems because, being a spiritual warrior, you succumb to the battle sometimes and you get hurt, you get scarred, you get bruised. But you know what? I'm not going to quit until they close my eyes and mouth and put me in a box and throw me in the dirt. I'm not going to quit.
God forbid.
How do you guys protect yourselves? Like after I know you're what you just said, but do you do a cleansing after? What do you do when you leave the place? Or can you share that?
I'm always saging everything, but I was always told that ghosts and demons, they're not afraid of sage. But I honestly think going to mass, I go every Sunday, but I honestly think just going to mass and showing that I have some sort of faith and some protection from God. Now that's me. If you have another faith or denomination and you're in the paranormal realm, you do your thing, your religion. That's however you go about it. But for me, being Catholic, I think going to mass keeps me safe. I haven't had any attachments, thank God, in the house. Nothing crazy going on yet. And may it never happen. And if it does, I'll be calling you guys because I won't know how to fight that off. But I'll film it for you. Maybe you guys can
I'll film.
What about you, Robert?
I'll film Anthony being possessed. I promise you. I promise you that. I will document it.
What a great friend, right, Anthony?
Yeah, wonderful friend.
Yeah.
So, Robert, what do you do? Because Amy's with you. So Amy is his significant other, so she's with you.
Yeah. My answer's complex, but
okay.
I handle it, and sometimes things are more afraid of you than you are of it. and
Yeah.
I'm well protected. I and I have my own ways.
Yeah.
I have my own ways, and I make sure to be strong there and really know to stand the ground, not to fear anything. I fear nothing under this earth, on this earth, or above this earth. Back in my pastor days, I saw some things, and I'm familiar. I've been to the Middle East. I've been to mind-blowing places, etc. And I've had to learn how to protect myself spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. And if you go into these situations and you're there, you'll be all right. But you got to work at it. And fortunately, I haven't had anything dumb enough to try to come at me the wrong way. Fortunately,
Let's hope it
Whoa.
never.
so far.
Well, thank you guys so much, and thanks for explaining that. I mean, I think that's fascinating. So be sure to watch, everybody. You guys tell people where they can see this. I'll let you do it with your own voice. Where can they find you?
Well, we're on YouTube, Paranormal Unearthed on YouTube, and we just started on Rumble and TikTok as well. Same name, Paranormal Unearthed. We're in our infancy stages right now, but we're gaining subscribers and followers and people that are liking our work. So we're going to keep going with it and see where it leads. So hopefully it leads to love and light and good things, and we'll see what happens in the future. But so far, so good.
I'm excited. I just love it. And I don't really watch this stuff anymore. So this is like, wow, this is like great. I mean, it's like really neat. I mean, I love what you do.
Mercedes, it could be so boring at times, but when the activity picks up, it is absolutely fascinating. It really is. It's fascinating to see an unseen force make physical contact in our realm and trying to
It's some
study
of the
that. It's fascinating to try to figure out what it wants, why it's here, how we can help, if we can help. Just like I said earlier, there's just more questions than answers that we can give at this time.
And
but
you're seeing the best parts.
yeah.
We
Yeah, I
go
know the whole
through
thing is
and we
long.
just chop out anything remotely boring and we
Yeah.
just make it
Right
action
to the
packed
good
from
stuff.
start to finish.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
That's
to
some of
waste
the
people's
best,
time.
some of the best evidence that I've seen.
Well, thank you.
I mean, it's pretty, wow,
We've
there's
been pretty fortunate.
I'm gonna go binge watch everything you've got.
yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna go to TikTok, and I'm gonna go everywhere you're at and follow you.
It's
So,
getting
Thank
to the
Thank
point where I'm worried because I don't know how we top it.
You can't top a full body. I told him the other day that was for me. I'm in the field.
We're
26
never gonna
years.
get
I've
another
never,
one
ever,
again.
ever seen that or filmed. That was the holy grail of paranormal activity to record a full bodied apparition
I
walking
know.
around in
Just
an attic.
walking through your wall, like I mean, just like you could see it. But no, I'm sure that there's stuff in store for you guys. There's
Oh,
stuff happening. But like, so I know because we've had the investigators here at the house. But I wish I could just, if I had the money, I'd just fly you here right now so you could film and see what's out here because you're just whatever you're doing, you're really picking up this amazing evidence.
and of course, Robert and I do it all for free. So if there's anybody on the East Coast, that's in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Close.
If you're having some paranormal activity in your home and you don't know what's going on and you just need somebody to come try and document it and give you some answers, we'll be happy to do that. Just reach out to us at Paranormal Unearthed, 777 @gmail.com, or reach out on the channel and we'll be happy to help. We don't charge a penny for anything. We're just trying to figure this out scientifically and seeing what we could do to help.
So great. And he's with the Order of Exorcists. Did you see that, Bishop Joshua? He is with the Order of Exorcists.
Mhm.
They are part of the team.
I just
Yeah.
started getting my emails. Yeah, so hopefully something in our area will pop up where we can go check it out because that'd be interesting. Because most of the cases I see are in California, so hopefully something to be on the East Coast popping up.
Yeah. Oh, there's
as soon as we get some East Coast stuff, I'll make sure we send it your
Send them
way.
my way. Yeah, I would love to check that out.
And I got to tell you, Desiree, our friend and co-producer, she thought that your show was already done by a huge crew. And I'm
wish.
like, no. Yeah, she's really,
ideas.
yeah, she's like, they're only just them doing this? And I'm like, yes, Desiree. She's
Just me,
watched
Rob,
the-
and 10 different cameras positioned everywhere, filming every little
amazing.
aspect.
And
Yeah.
hours
work.
of reviewing, so boring, even
Yeah.
so hard sometimes.
That
some of the
45-minute
stuff.
video that you guys see, 35, 45-minute video, that's 10 hours, 15 hours of footage we have to cut out and just compact into that little action-packed video, you
But
know?
it's really great.
Thank you.
Guys, just
Good
be
work.
true. Just be true to what you do and don't sell out for nothing.
No.
Keep doing what you do and present the truth that you find. And, 15 hours worth of footage in that 45 minutes that you narrow it down to, but that's 45 minutes of footage that you guys feel like that needs to be,
Absolutely.
revealed to the world. It's not something that somebody in a control room somewhere said, well, this is what I think, this is your all's work, your project. And, you all keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Anthony
Appreciate
says that all the time. He's like, he says that all the time. He's like, I just want this in there and that, it's this, that, and boom, boom. Comes
I
out.
love your
big.
guys' energy. Your energy is awesome. I like that.
Well, we love what we're doing. Robert and I, aside from our work, we're best friends. So, you have to have that bond and brotherhood no matter what you're doing. Because if you don't have that, it doesn't work. You don't have that connection. It just doesn't work. And thank God we have that. So it's a blessing.
It is. And thank you so much. I guess we better probably say goodbye for tonight. And
Good night.
you will come back again.
Yes,
You know,
anytime.
and we'll see what happens in this new investigation that you talked about at the beginning. So thank you, everybody that's been watching. Thank you to Bishop Joshua up here, and pray that he gets feeling better for the next
Yes.
week's show or for Saturday's show. And thank you guys for being here so much.
Thank you for having us again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. Thank
Good night.
you.
Good night, everybody.